The next award honors those individuals who have really used aviation for the greater good of humanity. And our honoree is Peter Paul Luce. He truly exemplifies the spirit of this award.
Out of all human history, barely 1 century, maybe 5 generations, have been living in the age of human flight, what Harrison refers eloquently to as the age of airplanes in a great film. And not even 1% of us have been privileged to be aviators in that time frame. So it comes down to us, to those of us who cherish flight, to be responsible for sharing it with other people. Peter Luce gets that.
Well, I always enjoyed picking people up who were in the need of transportation to fill their medical requirements, like visiting this doctor or that hospital and so on. So that's what most of these pins were. I don't know how many years, I guess it was probably 10 years, I carried those people, one at a time usually, sometimes more than one at a time.
It's really cool that this award is coming from Harrison to someone who gets it, because Peter has cherished aviation for 70 plus years of his life, spanning 3 of those 5 generations and 2/3 of that century in all the ways that he could, from flying Mercy medical flights to flying students to Cornell University on scholarship to see a university they would not otherwise have gotten to teaching aviation to non-pilots, to supporting Wings Over the Rockies and our education programs, to leading the Colorado Aviation Historical Society.
I never viewed it as giving back what I owed aviation. I viewed it separately because I was happy to do it, and I was so appreciated by the people who weren't in aviation and enjoyed riding on the airplane with me, and that was fine. And one of the interesting things is, it kind of took me by surprise, I never got a concern by any of these passengers who were definitely not in aviation in any way about my capability. They just assumed I knew how to fly, and that was the end of the subject, and go on to the next subject.
On and on, Peter's done it all, and he's highly deserving of this award.
Here to present the Harrison Ford Aviation Legacy Award is, you guessed it, Harrison Ford.
Thank you very much. It's always a great privilege to be here among you all. To be reminded of your inspiring work and what you've done to make our lives better. And every year, I have the honor of presenting the awkwardly named Harrison Ford Aviation Legacy Award. This award acknowledges someone who uses their love of aviation to make a difference in the lives of others, and selflessly works to demonstrate the spirit of our aviation family. This year's recipient is a man who has combined his love of flying with serving others. Whether it was a life-saving mission flying donated organs to their recipients, or helping cash-strapped college students get to their campuses, Peter Paul Luce has been out there working to ensure that no one goes without the needed transportation. In addition, Peter Paul has ensured that youngsters become excited about aviation through his guidance and support of the Wings Over the Rockies educational programs, inspiring them to take up our wings and become a part of this community. Peter Paul's legacy to educate young people will ensure and inspire for years to come. Together, his work embodies with this award this award is all about. And tonight, I'm honored to present the 2017 Harrison Ford Legacy Award to Peter Paul Luce.
It is indeed an honor for me to be included in such distinguished company. I have noticed that aviation brings out the best in people, and you are all the best of the best. I usually flew alone in my various aeroplanes, which usually was a Mitsubishi. But I always liked having passengers. I remember fondly the time I was loading some of my Pennsylvanian cousins for a brief sightseeing tour from the plane. They had a beautiful golden retriever who jumped on board and pranced down the aisle as if he were the president-elect. He jumped into the seat right behind mine, obviously to be assured that I didn't make any flying errors. Now back to today. To receive this award from Harrison Ford is a wonderful highlight to my 70 years of flying. As a pilot, I appreciate more than most the freedom and responsibility of flight. It was my privilege to use my passion for flying to help others. I have flown many flights for Air Lifeline, you may have heard of that, for ALIE Foundation, and for Cornell College, which happens to be in Iowa. It was satisfying beyond words, helping patients to and from treatments, transporting bloodhounds to various canine units to help find lost, abducted children, and allow college counselors to see an institution which I have long admired. It's quite unique because they have this policy of only teaching to any student one course at a time. And I have both created and taught a course on aviation at Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum. I take seriously the responsibility to grow aviation and share it with the new generation. It is my hope to inspire and educate aviators to follow in our contrails and become tomorrow's legends. Thank you.